Hi friends, and welcome to the Heart Consciousness game. This game is space for the transformation of the densities of our human mind into the highest potential of our human being. It's about being the change that we wish to see in the world from the inside out. Round one is an oracle, a challenge, and an experiment in this heart resonance. I'm going to be sharing some of the messages and codes that this game teaches me as I continue to live it. It is something that continues to humble my ego and reveal a possibility of living life as an adventure and relationships with ourself, with others, and the whole of this cosmos that is beyond what I thought possible before. The game consists of 12 levels, and each level represents a dimension or an aspect of our human experience in which we play with a token, something that we sacrifice or give up in order to transmute into the treasure of the game. The mission of the game is to transform our human field into one of divine love, not by attaching to any beliefs or adding practices, but by letting go of the density, the heaviness within ourselves in order to enjoy and flow with life with more ease and lightness. The invitation is to play intuitively, to engage however is natural for you, and to explore for your own unique resonance. The whole essence is about bringing us back to the source within ourselves, the source of our experience, the source of our love, and to simply share space for the exploration of this. So thank you for being here, and may your journey be a miraculous one. Level 1 is about the alignment of the mind and the heart. The heart power here is of devotion, of being clear in oneself of what we are truly playing for, what is worth it in this game of life that goes beyond all of the changing situations and circumstances. For me, this essence is universal love, the unconditional love of my life. And the token, the sacrifice that we play with, is the expectation, the conditions that we place on what love should be, what it looks like, what we need to achieve it, and recognize that this is not really a thing, an event, another person, anything outside of ourselves, but it is an essence of life, a way of being in the here and now that lifts up our inner space. And so this level asks us, what are you devoted to? What are we playing for? And it challenges us to realize this essence in the here and now. It's such a beautiful power of centering us when we might find ourselves in the tumultuousness of the mind or challenging situations, to bring us back to heart center and to engage that paradigm shift from needing things on the outside to change to embodying a quality of love within ourselves that lifts up our lows. Level 2 is about the transcendence of the human mind field of conflict. It shows us that our true power is in our ability to observe, to detach from the energy of fighting, of negativity that we ultimately wish to transcend. It reflects that as human beings in this earth realm, we are constantly facing the huge range of our human frequencies and forms, and that the true mastery in this energetic game is how we are feeding our attention. It's not about getting rid of challenges, but recognizing that the challenges and the obstacles are the way to realizing a higher essence within ourselves. The beauty of this level is in the simplicity, in taking a step back, creating some space, and allowing ourselves to respond from the heart center. By sacrificing the token of inner conflict, we begin to energize that which resonates with a higher love. It transcends the realm of good and bad, right and wrong, and simply allows us to move with our field of life in a way that can be at ease, even when facing our most intense and challenging moments. Level 3, the token is resistance. And this level reminds us that our field of play is Earth. We are playing in a realm of Earth life in which we evolve in seasons and cycles. It takes the ebbs and the flows, all of the different weather patterns, in order to grow us into the being that we truly are and to thrive. The beauty of this level is that the way of ascension is not by resisting or avoiding the low parts of our energetic wave, but by embracing life as it is, by vibrating with life rather than against it. We see that in this human game, everything in the external world is always changing. Everything in the world of our mind is always changing. And that our most efficient way of evolution is to embrace the essence of non-resistance, to embrace our process of evolution, and to recognize the brilliant power of being able to weather the storms through our heart center, where we can actually extract the gifts and the wisdoms of every part of this human and life cycle. When we're playing for our highest love, we will meet our deepest lows. And the brilliance is that we can find that they're not something that we need to fear, that moving through them is what reveals our true heart power, and that connects us to this magic and mysterious reality of Earth life in ways that we can't even see with our mind. So let's embrace our process, enjoy the ride, and vibrate with grounded presence through it all. Level 4 is the space of inner knowing. It reflects that only we can truly know our way, and that the work of this game is in transcending the field of doubt and anxiety to come home to our heart center, this center of universal intelligence. The heart power here is in intuition, and it's like a skill to refine. The more that we trust ourselves, we trust our intuitive guidance as what is guiding our way to our highest level of life. The challenge that it presents us with is to go beneath the surface of the thinking mind, beneath the static and noise of the mind space where we have gotten so much information, opinions from the outside, and to return to the subtle awareness in our heart center. The beauty that this level continues to show me is that our relationship with the mind and with life can evolve into such a beautiful trust, that we can see these elements of doubt and anxiety and these things that pass through our collective mind space. And rather than inhabiting them, identifying with them, we can allow it to move through. We don't have to react from that space and energize that space. We can simply let it be, let it go, and come home to our heart center. Strengthen this power of intuition and experience a refined dynamic within ourselves and with the wholeness of life. So the challenge here is to navigate beneath the forms of the mind and into the inner knowing of your own heart. Level 5, the token is our judgments. It reflects to us that judgments are part of a field of the mind that reflects. That when we judge another, ultimately we will experience that same judgment on ourselves because we are one interconnected humanity. And our interconnection goes far beyond what the mind can see. It's about allowing our mind to be an instrument of higher consciousness. And the game is to drop it, to let go of our attachment to the heaviness, to the projections of right and wrong, and to kind of play with the energy of openness, to allow the negative forms of the mind, the judgments, to pass through our field without attaching to them, to engage the heart power of lightness, and to recognize that the true inner work is simply a letting go, a dropping of the heaviness that we have held onto in our mind space. This level can be so much fun to play with in our relationships, in our patterns of being, where we see that there is an opportunity to simply drop it, to let it be, and to allow a lightness to move through our fields of play. This is about choosing to be in peace. Recognizing that this is the inner space that is the gift of life, and that can transform, that can engage a power of change, change as our asset in this earth realm, allowing ourselves to change, allowing others to change, and creating the spaciousness for that highest change to be possible. Level 6 is about the transformation of our human tension and agitation. Rather than reacting from the waves and the intensity at the surface, as we breathe deeper and allow ourselves to respond from an energy of calm, we see that this is our true power. It's not that we have to project or present some kind of surface experience of calm. We can experience the full range, the full vibration of our authentic humanity. And in that, we can know that the transformation happens from inside us. So the challenge to us here is to embrace the power of relaxation, of calming the tension and anxiety from within us, and to respond from the power of our calm. Level 7 is the space of transcendence from the realm of the personal to the realm of the universal. It's about letting our past, our personal narratives and dramas be the sacrifice, be the element of our game that we can simply allow to be the background texture of our most beautiful present and future. By letting go of our individual projections and the stories that keep us in a certain pattern of relating, we open up to the possibility that is truly here now, that is beyond what we could have projected for our individual selves, and that allows us to be part of a higher love than we have known before. Our power in this level is to zoom out, to see the bigger picture, and to recognize that, like a movie, it takes all of the different scenes from the lows to the highs to make it really rich and enjoyable. Like a symphony, it takes all of the different notes and tones to really hear the song in its wholeness, to enjoy the wholeness of ourselves. And so as we can detach from the weeds of our experience, from the negativity that we may be experiencing in any scene of our game of life, that we can allow ourselves to move through it from an inner space of contentedness. Detachment being the power that transcends us beyond the attachment to our individual stories, to a flow with the greater universal self that moves through us all and that guides us into our highest love. Level 8 is about our authentic being. It reflects that within each of us, there is this diamond of our presence, and that the token here is sacrificing the comparison, the guilt, the shame, and the ways in which we judge ourselves and others. This level reminds me that in order to really live and play for our highest self, we have to move through the cringe. We have to move through the comfort zones, the ways in which we play our life for something or someone else. The message of this level is that the most valuable treasure in this game of life is our presence, is our being, and that it requires our human player to go through stages of evolution. As we embrace what's really worth playing for, we recognize that it's always here and now. We recognize that it's through the expression of our authentic self that we grow, and that we don't really need to get or achieve anything outside of ourself to experience that beauty now. The real abundance is our wholeness, the wholeness of our human life, of our energetic presence, and our ability to be with it all. The beauty is in moving through the shadows to illuminate them, to show ourselves that the shadows were never an error or a flaw, but something that connects us in ways that we can't even see, and that actually holds our greatest potential. By breathing through it and allowing ourselves to move through our process of life, we can and do realize our highest self as an essence of our being from inside out, not as a human perfection, but as a perfection that is the divine, that is beyond our individual human players. And that is a quality of being within all of us to be realized. Level 9 is a space of emotions. The token here is our intense feeling, not as something that we give up, but as something that we give up the rejection of, the avoidance of, and the projections that anything that we feel is bad. This level, especially as a human player who has extreme emotionality and sensitivity, is a liberation from the ways in which that we have judged in our mind, the way that we want things to go in different directions, and instead to embrace our sensitivity as our true heart's power, and to recognize that the opportunity is to refine our sensitivity, to refine our responsiveness to life, and to allow every aspect of ourself, of our unique human player, to be part of our guidance to our highest self, to the unconditional universal love of ourself. This level is about riding the waves of sensitivity to that essence of our being. And for me, it continues to show me that the true power is in softness, to softening into it all, into allowing the waves to guide us to our highest shores. Beneath the words, it's about resonating with the understanding in the heart of our being that how we sense life is our true gift. And as we let go of the stories and projections of the mind that things should be different, we can allow ourselves to flow with this current in our most efficient and in our most enjoyable way, that we can enjoy the sensations and the sensitivity to this earth realm through our human beings, through our human player. So the challenge that this level presents to us is not to reject any feelings as bad, but to allow it to be guidance that informs us, to stay centered in our heart space, and to allow our sensitivities to refine into our ultimate power in this life. Level 10 is the space of our relationships. The token here is our resentments, the ways in which we want others to change. This level continues to reflect to me that what is possible in our dynamic with life is one of infinite, profound trust, where we no longer need other people to play roles in our game, but that we can accept and embrace everyone exactly as we are. That this is the gift. This is what we really want in our relationships. And that while we have had much conditioning to say that what we should have, what other people should be different, the reality is we can only be as we are. And that the true change, the true game changer is unconditional love. This level is about embracing the field of divine love as an essence from ourselves, as one with pure acceptance, pure trust. It's about recognizing that what we are truly playing for is a trust in the wholeness of life, not in people or circumstances to do what we think that they should. Instead, in that trust of life, in that dynamic, we can move with what is. We can embrace our environments as the guidance towards our highest relationship with life. Relationships can be epic. And this level challenges us to transform our resentment our frustrations, into a trust in the space of life that is always guiding us. It's worth it. Level 11 reflects the message that with a great mission, we will face great challenges. That this is the essence of polarity. And that this game is about the mission of universal love. So the beauty of this level is in its power of inclusion. It includes every element in our game of life as part of our guidance into this inner spaciousness of pure freedom. It's about the timelessness of the soul, where the token for transformation is our individual agenda. It's our pressure and our concept of time, to recognize that we are not really individual players, but part of a collective field. And as we lighten up our inner space, we open our receivers to a possibility of this reality that is greater than our own personal minds. The challenge here and the question that the game asks us is, what else is possible? How can we allow every element and aspect of our game to serve the greater whole? Are we willing to play for our highest love? Level 12 is about enjoying life. It's recognizing that there's such a beauty in freedom and being able to trust our process, trust the process of life, and to let go of our individual control and rigidity. This is about sacrificing our suffering, sacrificing the struggle with life as it is, and to flow with our current with more ease. The control switch in this level is of freshness. It's about recognizing that the here and now is the only space that we ever respond from. And so we have the ability to simply switch on our energetic experience into one of being fresh, of being here, of embracing our presence with a quality of being that feels good to our soul. Surrendering is not about giving up. It's about embracing life as it is and flowing with it. Realizing that the wholeness of this human experience is far beyond what we can grasp and hold on to, understand with the mind, and that the true gift of this life is in enjoying it, and it is in sharing the essence of our heart, not by being a perfect human that has it all together and in control, but by allowing ourselves to be part of a greater universal whole that connects us in beautiful and synchronistic ways. So the invitation is to trust your process, to allow ourselves to flow with the river of life with more ease, and to surrender the struggle from the inside out and see what magic and beauty is really possible here. Thank you so much for being here. The invitation is always to engage and to play however is intuitively true for you, and to see how our heart network connects us in the most beautiful ways. All love. Meow.